Oh my god. Hey, 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 hey. Thanks for the raid.
Unbeliever! Sean! Sean!
Why is stuff not working? Let's see, game capture. How are people? Does this work? Ah, there we go. Hey, bestie. Hey, Stone Cold. Oh my gosh. 12 viewers. Hey, everyone from Noble's Raid. I'm Dr. Vem. Legendary Dr. Vem. The one whose fault it always is. Uh, I'm in Sweden and Swedish. It's early morning for me. It's like 7:42. What up, Pixie? What up? I'm a variety streamer. I stream a variety of things. And today we're gonna try out the new set in Teamfight Tactics, and I'm gonna try to actually do something productive. So you're welcome to join. Thanks for coming over. I appreciate the raid, nobles. The one and only, literally the one and only, right? Soul Fighter. Ooh, Mighty Mech. I could go with a Mighty Mech. Luchador Nar. Nice. But I do like sorcerers. Phew. This is entirely new set for me. He's a master of getting carried. I am a master of getting carried. Using a champion to choose a power up. Sell that champion or use a power remover to gain power snacks. Okay. Oof. There's a lot of stuff happening here, I feel. Oh, that's a Mighty Mech as well. Cool. We'll go with that. I don't know what any of these things are yet, so. Sorcerer's Mighty Mech. We're just gonna go with whatever expensive shit we find here right now. Bestie's gonna leave soon. Yeah, you have class, right? She's too classy to stay here. How was the stream, Nobes? Did y'all have fun? Salvage bin. I don't want an emblem this early on either. I'm gonna do Spirit Link. I'm gonna get an Edge Lord. It's always fun with me. That is very true. That is very true. I'd give you a shout out, but literally all these viewers are yours, so I don't think it does a lot. But yeah, anyone who hasn't checked out Nobles and given him a follow should check out Nobles and give him a follow. Y'all gotta check that dude out sometime. Thanks for bringing over all the viewers, Nobes. Appreciate it. Appreciate the raids. Have you? How many 30-second challenges did you do today? I didn't force any on you. There we go. 8. Is it that new stuff as well that makes you cough like immediately? Lost? You only lost 1. Good sir, good sir. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. That is very well done. Getting used to it. That just sounds really harsh, but also kind of badass. Like, yeah, I'm getting used to it. Oh wait, Ziggs, the crew. What is the crew? Crew champions gain 5% health and attack speed for each crew member fielded. Alright, well that sounds fun. We'll keep him around. Now, you're bringing over people from your high energy, literal high energy stream to this early morning, slow and easy stream. What about the whiplash these poor viewers will experience now? Oh, he is also part of the crew. Cool. Well, we'll save him. Oh no.
Dr. Vem is so consistently late to his streams, you'd think punctuality was a DLC he never bought. The man treats his start time like a minimum wage suggestion, wandering in whenever he feels like it, while Chat sits there watching dust collect on his starting screen. He's not fashionably late. He's Grandpa stuck in traffic with no GPS late every single time.
Fuck you,
At this
dude.
point, his audience doesn't tune in for the gameplay, they tune in to place bets on how many hours behind schedule he'll be. And for that...
Grandpa stuck in traffic, and for that the debt must be paid. Fair, fair, well done. Right, for any all viewers who are new here, I have a push-up debt. You can force me to do that every 15 minutes. Please don't force me. Alright, fuck it. Shitty cam activate! That was a really good bird as well. Really good setup. Oh my gosh. No, wait, why did I put you over here? This is the room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Ouch. I'm old and fat. You still you got 15 push-ups for me. That ain't too bad, right? Who are you? Bastion and Sorcerer, Crystal Gambit. I don't know. Oh man. If she ever streams, she's not getting Tandra. That's because she's a fucking wimp. Oh my gosh. Shit, right. I have a new thing, Nobles, that I want to show you. It is not my penis. Haha! There we are. Look, there's a black box here. I wonder what that is. What could that black box be? What? This Pixie still had the best push-up redeem since of the gnomes getting the piano and repo. It's fair. Yeah, that was kind of interesting. And annoying. Oh my gosh. What was that piano worth? Like 40K or something? It's crew. Just gonna sell all of these fuckers. Ooh, a sniper. It was 42k. Dang. Let's see. Ooh, Crystal Gambit. Let's see, wait, snipers have that, alright. I don't know how to build anything here, or what to build. Siggs is the biggest in the crew so far. He's a magic marksman. So you definitely give him these things. Yeah, this is always a good item, the Giant Slayer. Dr. Vim, yes or no? Just yes or no? Yes. You thought I'd say no, but I am a yes man. What are we saying yes to, though? I think I gotta know. I'm pretty sure it's important that I know what I'm saying yes to. Time to break in Pixie. Break in Pixie. Whoa. Whoa. That sounds dirty.
Lil Pic stays so confused, it's like her brain runs on a permanent loading screen. You can practically hear the Windows error sound every time she tries to process basic gaming information. She's not just lost in the sauce, she's swimming in an ocean of it without a map, a compass, or even floaties.
Or even floaties.
Half the time she's asking questions that answer themselves. The other half, she's staring into the void like it's going to hand her a cheat sheet. Honestly, if confusion were a sport, Lil Pix would be undefeated.
Jesus fucking Christ. Nobles is just like firing wildly today. Shooting each and every one of us. What the fuck is that all about, man? Fire the planet cracker. Monster trainer? No, I don't want monster trainers. I want the crew. Alright, so the crew is all low level. You need 3 stars, so it's definitely like a low level reroll here. Runs you don't get roasted to. Love you, bestie. Have a wonderful day. Bye, bye, bye. Jesus. I was actually supposed to do stuff today. Right now, y'all are distracting me. No, thank you. Oh, right, now I'm lurking on my own stream as well. Insanity.
I'm gonna be a pretty scared of the party.
Is that Soul Thread? Go the fuck to bed. Go to bed right now, Soul. Go. Why are you up? Bad boy. Go to bed. Go to bed. I'm telling you. That's a duelist. You can duel these balls. I just need a second. What do you need a second for? You gonna shit your pants? No, sorry, it's unnecessary. Very unnecessary. Time for Pixie to crawl and hide in a deep, deep hole. Tinhernia go. If that's what you call Noble's butthole. Be a rebel. Stay up. Stony, you don't have to infect other people with the insomnia. I'm starting to think the crew thing is only good once you have other people as well. Like other abilities, other traits. Other traits. Damn. Crawl up Noble's butt. The butthole. The Noble butthole. At a loss for words. Even if I went to bed right now, I'm still gonna be up for at least 3 hours. Then don't be up for another 3 hours. Simple. Just go to sleep. I'm playing really badly now, but it's just because I want to find more of the crew. See, that would be a good get. But I'm not gonna. The crew, the crew. The crew. The crew, the crew. We're just gonna use all our money here. The crew. Oh my god, we 1 star or 2 star him. We're gonna wait with that one. Easier said than done. Yeah, fair. I mean, we all know you want to go to Spank. Noble Spank Emporium. For all your spanking needs. No one is safe. But look at this cute little RPG game I got going. Isn't it just so cute? It's so good for interacting. No one is safe, especially you, Stony. Ducky wants to spank you. Nobles has a spanking emporium. It's something about these Americans that they just want you, Stony. This champion already has a power-up unlocked. Best defense, shielding adds bonus physical attack to the next time. Nice. Stand united. Dope. Bestie can run, but she's still getting roasted.
Bestie is so scared to hit that go live button you'd think it was wired to a self-destruct device. She'll hype up streaming all day, talk about the content she's totally gonna make, and then vanish faster than her motivation when it's showtime. Every excuse in the book gets dusted off. Lighting's not right, mic isn't perfect, just not feeling it today. As if perfection's gonna show up before courage does. At this point, the only thing going live in her room is her procrastination.
Such a bitchy thing. I love it. The only thing going live is her procrastination. Dude. Harsh. Harsh. Oh my god. Yeah, it's not going well. I'm itchy all over as well. This is why you shouldn't do stuff. I don't know. Gain 1 completed anvil. No, I'm good. We're gonna grab a radiant relic. Radiant spear. Oh, Shojin. What do we have? We have a Bastion and a Protector. So we want more Bastions and more Protectors. There you go. Alright, we don't need you. He's a protector. Cool. Just give me enough crew members to 3-star, like, at least one. It is Soul Fighter and Bastion. I don't know if I like that. Sniper Star Guardian. Ooh, cool. Battle Academia and Bastion. Let's go. Oh, you died again, Stony. I'm also gonna die. Look at this. We got 2 Battle Academia as well. What other Battle Academia fuckers do we have? Rakan? Could actually go with Rakan. And for not dying, that is. Oh my gosh. One more shed. Hello, how does this game work? Luchador. The champ. Dope. I'm gonna grab the Lee Sin just cause cool, you know. The champ. Now I kind of want him. Duelist stands. Whoa. No, we're just gonna sell him. I'm gonna grab you. Yeah, the crew. That means XP per paid reroll and crew unit odds next level? What do you mean? Oh, like, we'll always get the best odds of getting crew units? That'd be pretty dope. That means you just need 1 3-starred crew. To start killing people. Alright, we're gonna place those here. We'll see. I wanna queue up in the RPG as well. This is not the one I was looking for. Well. Oh, come on. Where do I gotta die? Right. Yay, the crew. I'm gonna lose any moment now. I'm not gonna survive too long. I'm gonna head out and try to get some sleep. Might be back in 10 minutes. See a soul thread. Please, please, I hope you get some sleep. I do hope that. And when and if you sleep, I hope you have wonderful dreams. Like some cute dreams. Mentor, Juggernaut, Duelist. No, thank you. Let's see. to do here. I'm gonna do the Gargoyle Stone Plates. I'm gonna reforge that shit. I'm gonna do a Spirit Visage. Well, she's an attack caster, apparently. She's also an attack caster. He's literally a magic marksman, though, so. Oh my gosh. I just want to level up in the RPG so that next time X Gamer comes on, I'm going to be like way stronger than him. We're going to grab that one, and that one, and then we're going to grab the Giant Slayer to you. I don't even know what I'm doing here. That's, there we go. Whoa! Hey, what up, Joe? Jesus, my alerts are way too loud. Thanks for the follow, Joe. Welcome to the gang. Let's see. Man, I suck at this game. It's a new set and everything. I don't understand it yet. Like, I've placed pretty consistently in, like, gold and up in the past. Right now we're Iron 2, 0 LP. Why was my alert so fucking loud? I'm gonna check that shit. I also kind of want to change the sound effect of my follow and stuff. Viewer rewards. No, that's not the one. Alerts, that's the one. Visuals and sound. Volume. Fucking 4%. There you go. Wait. Oh, alright, focus, Doctor, focus. So I have I have the game here, and then I have the stream over there. Oh, actually what I should be doing is a little bit different. Yes. Exactly. Get rid of this. And then we move this over to that screen instead. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Noble's used bits. That means he's gonna come for my ass.
Are you tired of a dull, lifeless evening? Do you crave a little impact in your life? Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because Noble Spank Emporium is here to turn your nights from meh to oh, baby. For just 3 easy payments of courage, you can browse our exclusive range of handcrafted smack delivery devices. Each one tested for maximum flare precision and that oh-so-satisfying whack.
Whack.
From beginner gentle taps to advanced, did you just hear thunder swats? We've got something to fit every cheek.
That was so fucking good, though. Did you come up with that entirely by yourself, Nobles?
But wait, there's more. Order in the next 30 minutes and we'll throw in our signature double whammy deluxe. Perfect for those moments when one good swing just isn't enough. So don't wait, call now, and remember at Noble Spank Emporium, we don't just make contact, we make history.
We just don't make... Oh, wait, we don't just make contact, we make history. Nobles. Oh my fucking god. My guy. I gotta start shopping at Noble Spank Emporium. We, Wait, let me... Ah! I think I need to, fix a thing. Select font, yeah, regular size, sure, why not? Alright. Let's see here. There we go. Let me select a better font because I don't have the ethnocentric one here. There you go. Alright, what are we gonna go for? We got a Mighty Mech and a Sorcerer here. Bastions are always good. We can check out a crew. With the Comic Sans as well. That's the best one here, I think. Ooh, another Bastion. That's actually kind of good to start off with. He's a Sorcerer and a Mighty Mech. Edgelord, are these the ones that, yeah. So it seems like for this set they mixed up like a fuck ton of different traits that they've had in other sets. Star Guardian and Prodigy. Star Guardian Crest. No, or 2-star 2-cost champion. Fucking let's go. Still pretty early. Mentor and Heavyweight. What do the mentors do? Active only when you have exactly 1 or 4 unique mentors. Gotcha. Oh, and the heavyweights are basically those dudes. Hello, Ducky. What up? What up? What up? Oh my gosh, Nobles is getting in on the RPG as well. Insanity. Insanity, it tells you. Act now and you can get 2-for-1 spankings at Noble Spank Emporium. Is it Noble's Spank Emporium and Car Wash? Like sometimes you gotta combine stuff, you know? Wait, Crystal Gambit. No, Star Guardians. Unique teamwork bonus that's granted to all every Star Guardian if you increase the bonus. Okay, cool. And Rel is the Star Guardian there. Pacey can run the car wash. Sick. You just want her to show her bobs. Disgusting, man. Oh my gosh. I don't know what to do here, really. Feels like heavyweights are a really good way to go. Yeah, they gain health, and health becomes attack damage. The 6 heavyweights obviously would be the absolute best. Ooh, a mentor and an edgelord. The mentors seem fun as well, but they're all high cost. So I don't know if and how to use them. Star Guardians seem kind of cool. Every 30 attack deals magic damage. A sploosh. Oh my god, I've watched so much Archer lately. I've like rewatched the whole series. And now I'm up to the stuff that I haven't watched yet. Like after he comes out of his coma and they get back the agency and everything. One of my favorite things from Archer is sploosh. It is such a good... Sploosh and phrasing, obviously. Awesome fucking things to come out of that series. Let's see. There we go. What do we want now, though, item-wise? We want to build this dude up, attack tank, and if they're heavyweights, they want as much HP as possible. Really, so just... I feel like that's pretty nice to have that as like a mechanic that... Like HP becomes attack damage, so just build up HP. It's a very clear-cut way to do it. Let's see. There we go. We can do that. Yeah, we can get another Rel for sure. Ooh, Executioner. I love a Katarina though. Katarinas are like always dope in any game you play. We're gonna make a Spirit Visage for him. No, we're gonna, if alone in a row, gain health. Each round gain permanent health. Jesus. Alright, yeah. Just get it, boy. Go get it. Congrats on catching the Swadloon, Mr. Stone Cold. Also known as Stu the Magnificent. Ooh, those are more Star Guardians though. Do like a Star Guardian. Gains 6 ability power every 3 seconds. Cool. That sounds fun. Oh. Another heavyweight. Oh, he heals and deals damage. Very nice. What's his power? He heals. And his power is gaining a shield and then extra physical damage. Cool. Let's go with that. Brr. Let's see. Where do we want to go? From here, I think we can just stay there. There's no real need to use too much money. Nope, that's not how we do it. It has to be this way. Sorry, I'm trying to fix like stuff for the stream while I'm playing here. Mighty Mech and an Executioner. I mean, I like just the concept of having Executioners, which sounds bad. I know it sounds bad, but Udyr, Yasuo, and Ryze. Didn't notice it's so small on phone. Right, yeah, it's really not made for phone. I realize now. But yeah, the RPG I think is fun. It's a cute little mini game in the stream. Open with Google Sheets. How about that? This is some shitty payment history right there. Like it doesn't give me any fucking info. All right. Okay, Star Guardian bonuses? No. No. Piercing Sights. Star Guardian, Star Guardian. Mentor. So yeah, I've been meaning to like fix my streaming economy overall, because like in Sweden we have really strict tax laws. I gotta to tell the tax company literally every single cent I make from streaming and where it goes, and then the tax like the government agency for taxes have to decide like, is this a legit business or is it just a hobby? And if they count it as a legit business, I might have to pay even more taxes. I just wanna do what's right, you know. Heavyweights. Nice. One more edgelords. I mean, mentors. This tree is active only when you have exactly 4 unique mentors. I think, like, mentors and heavyweights, that could be the good final place to be. Alright. That? No. Stop everything. Thank you very much. Let's see. RPG, 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 RPG. That's a Mighty Mech and stuff. Ball levels. Alright, let's go with that. Getting rid of you. Getting another Kabuko. Alright. I think we just gotta get higher levels at the moment. Burn it all. Burn it all. Nope, that's the wrong one. I have so many Chrome tabs. Do. Whoa. Darius is a heavyweight. Chase is a heavyweight. Alright, we're gonna get rid of these fuckers now. We're gonna get rid of you. You can keep her for now. The next heavyweight we need is Poppy. And the next mentor we need is Rice. So we need level 4 people. Alright. Ouch, my ear. Alright. Nice. Oh my gosh, I got a Poppy. And she's literally a Star Guardian as well. Dope. Alright, well that's insane, having 6 Star Guardians this early. It feels like it's very good, at least. Almost having 3-star of him. Yeah, and I got all the heavyweights. Well. Alright, that can go fuck itself then. I'm gonna place you over there. Goodbye, Vi. That's 7% max health. We're gonna grab that for you. Yeah, so we're gonna see how we can build up the other dudes here. I mean, I think Attack Assassin would be good. Did he have Executioners? No, Battle Academia. Fuck Overheal. Yup. Sorry, it was a... That was like, oh, hey, do you want more heavyweights? And also buff them, like all heck. And I immediately said, yes, I do. I want it. Oh my lord. Thank you very much. Alright, oh my gosh, I don't even know what to do here. Alright, we got these heavyweights. The mentors. Could be interesting. I think, the more I think about it, I think the Star Guardians would be better. They're pretty much all ranged, except for Brel and Nico. Allies gain the bonus. Mentors gain all bonuses and upgrade their abilities. Other allies gain nothing. Alright, that's interesting. But they upgrade their abilities. Like, I want that. I want that in my life. I want upgraded abilities. Ooh, who do we want to give this to? Poppy, probably. What up, X-Gamer? Oh my gosh. Level 12, dude. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, we got that. Next stop is Stream Elements. Thought you did not want to get back to this game. It's really easy to just play this and do other stuff at the same time. That's the thing. Oh wait, there we go. That's the one I wanted. Of course, it's fucking fair enough. Alright, revenue probably. Payments. Payment history. Oh my lord. No, come on! Why would you do this to me? Why would you, oh my god. You are a poopy pant butthole. A poopy pant butthole. Butthole!
Okay, now to be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You got them 15 push-ups from me. Hope you're happy about that. Oh shit, I died. 8th place. Never mind anything I ever do. Still on cooldown. You gotta chill, son. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my god, that is so annoying. Who chill? All of you. All of you need to chill. All of you need to take a breather and relax. Oh, that did not just put me in multiple times. Might have. Maybe that's how you cheat the system. Pick a signature weapon from this artifact animal. What if I don't wanna? Stone was also 12. He's catching up. He's been playing a bunch. And Stony has insomnia, so he's usually here before anyone else. He's usually here even before I am. Let's go with that one. Fuck it. Alright, now we got Battle Academia, 3 of them. Yeah, we gotta go with Battle Academia here, I think. Hybrid caster. I'm just gonna give him that. Attacks grants ramping attack speed. Yes, please. Sniper. What is a prodigy? Gains mana regen. Prodigies gain more. Protectors and Bastion do different things. Fishbones Ezreal. Right? But I mean, I had it. Who am I gonna give it to at the moment? Sell your board and bench. Gain 4 random 2-star 1-cost champions. Disable your shop for the next 3 rounds. Nah, I'm good. Loses 20 health, but after ooh. Risky moves. Ouchies. Should we try out Prodigy? What up, John Powell? How are you today? Nephew. Wait, can I join the RPG again now? Yeah. Oh, jeez. Doing good. Didn't know you had TFT Tuesdays. Honestly, there's nothing consistent about my streaming. The schedule, the games, it's all just fucked up and up in the air. You're even better now. It's not every Tuesday. But a new set released today, and I want to do more like actual work or like productive stuff during streams, especially during the day. And Teamfight Tactics is one of those games where you don't have to think too much because the stakes are super fucking low. Let's go with that one. Mentor. Let's grab you. Oh, there we go. Alright. That's fucking annoying, stream elements. He posted about maybe doing either Warframe, Far Cry, or Minecraft Dungeons. Here we are on TFT. Yeah! Fuck consistency. Consistency is stupid. Who even likes consistency? Yeah. Speaking of, I'm just gonna sell shit. Let's grab a Syndra. RPG. RPG stands for Rocket Propelled Grenade, if you didn't know. There we go. What was the other one? January 2nd. There we go. Oh, what do I want? What do I want? I want that one, probably, right? This is just HP, baby. Ah! That's how I feel. Everyone's just in the RPG queue now. Good. You're all falling into my trap. A magic tank, an attack tank, while both of you want a Warmogs. So we're definitely going to give it to Rakan, because he's straight up better. Bastion is Star Guardian, I guess. Yumi is a Prodigy as well, that's nice. Leone is a Bastion, that's good. Because he's a Bastion, no, he's a Protector, fuck me. Alright. Alright, we're going with that then. Deadon. I think if anyone's gonna have fish bones, it's Caitlyn, right? Should I queue up as well? This whole chat is just gonna be RPG. That's all you're gonna see. Ah. Let's see. Do you still want the bastions? I don't know if I know. We'll buy her. She's just 1 gold. You're typing a phone now because you're on the toilet having a massive shit. No, sorry. Probably not, you know. Definitely did not create a macro to auto send RPG in chat. Sick. Oh my gosh. Woo! See, definitely not. Uh-huh. Maybe we need to increase the wait time between queues to like 5 minutes. I think I could go up here. Oh my gosh. Timber. First time each ally falls below 35% health, they restore 30% maximum health. That feels like a losing approach, but a needlessly large rod. That's what I call my penis, a needlessly large rod. I'm joking. I don't call it that. Let's see. I know, we're gonna get rid of you. We're gonna get rid of you as well. Definitely not my macro. No macro here. Sick, bro. Sick, bro. Oh shit, right, I forgot about the gamble I had going on. I entirely spaced on that shit. There we go. Hybrid caster. Attack caster. Alright, wait. I don't even know what to give who. Here. Upgraded their abilities and gain potential. Potential improves their abilities. Gotcha. Alright, and his ability... Blink a short distance, then gain 25% attack speed. So he would benefit from a Ginsua's Rage Blade, I think. You do not know how invested I am in this RPG. I don't. I have a hard time understanding why people are this invested. Like, I just added it as like a fun little thing. Like a cute thing to do. What do you mean I can't log into my internet bank? Eat my whole asshole, please. There we go. Yes, good, good. Oh, Rakan. And you are Karma, the Mighty Mech Sorcerer. And we're gonna give a Spirit Visage to her. Wow, it's a lot of Sinsao. That also kind of means that I don't want him anymore. Look, if you're gonna be this desperate about being picked, I don't want you anymore. Yes, I can be the timer when I type in chat. It has been exactly 1 minute. Sick. That is cute though. I gotta say. Wait, I gotta scroll down to July. Luchador and Juggernaut. Oh my god. Next one is in June. I should have been doing this like as it came in, like keeping a proper Excel sheet of all the Twitch payments. I've been not lazy. I've been busy with myself. But that means there's work to do now. Use on a champion to choose a power up. Sell that champion. I know this one. Well, what did I look at it like this? Living wall. Yes, please. I don't even want to read the rest of them. I just want a living wall. Jace and Yuumi. Everyone, Katarina and Yuumi. Fuck off, Viego. Battle Academia, Battle Academia. Do we have a protector here somewhere? Hello. Oh, well, we got a Battle Academia at least. I mean, and a protector, but who cares about that? I mean, not my delays to learn on a macro. Human input delays. Wait, so it wasn't a macro? I honestly thought you made a macro. I was 100% sure that you had made a macro, and I was like, oh, is that... How do I feel about this? That he has a macro for the stream game. Man, I'm stupid. There we go. Burn all enemies? No. No glass cannon. No overheal. Next completed item may grant another copy of it. Fuck yeah, gain a component. Mentor, executioner, and strategist. That feels like it might be really good, actually.
He's
He's
trying to provoke me here.
Trying to promote me? I could not help. It is macro. All right, this is. See, all right, now I'm confused. Is it a macro or is it not a macro? Are you lying to me? Or are you messing with me? Or are you not messing with me? I feel like I'm never gonna know now. She doesn't know shit. She's guessing. Wow. Angry. I mentioned gaslight you. Like, now I don't know. Now I don't know. Like, this is this gaslighting? That I'm so confused and turned around that I don't know what's true? Yeah, that is gaslighting. That is literally... Oh my gosh. Worst thing is, I really gotta go to the bathroom soon as well. My butt screams for the porcelain throne. Sorry. Oh, I am a wonderful person. Wait, can I search? Nope, I can't. Alright. No, 100% is a macro. Check DMs. Alright. My gosh. Gang, I actually really gotta run to the bathroom, so you're gonna see the be right back screen for a little while. See ya. Hey, what up? I'm back. Oh my lord. I had to run. But I'm back now. I have too many things here, I feel. Oh my gosh. Just exit, dude. What is up? 6th place, Elma. Fuck you, man. Fuck you. Big loser. So mean. So mean. What happens now?
Gee, he go poopy. Hope he had good poopy. Or maybe he only peepee who knows only he knows. He he he. He do huge dookie in the porcelain throne. He he. This is what waking up early does to a man, I guess. WTF am I doing? Wake up early to watch my favourite streamer, then create a macro to auto-send. RPG then keep sending weird shit in chat. Then I'm writing this in David Attenborough TTS. What am I doing with my life, man? But have to say, it is a fun part of the day anyway. Thanks, I guess I done.
X-Gamer's just having a full-on existential crisis in chat. How you doing, friend? Do you need to go sleep? Do you need to have a lie down? Num 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 num. Yeah, I went for a shit. It was really nice. As long as it went to the limit, what the fuck? Yeah, that happens. Oh shit, right. I forgot what I was doing before I ran away. I'm fixing our economy stuff. Protector, Sorcerer, Supreme cells. Cell who dealt the most damage last combat is Supreme. When the Supreme cell dies, the cell with the highest current damage becomes Supreme. Alright. Interesting. It did not send... Yeah, that happens. Luchador. Juggernaut. We're just gonna go with sorcerers for now. Luchador. Bonus attack damage. Oh my gosh. Alright, the luchadors seem cool as fuck. I might save those just cuz. No need anyway was me having an existential crisis. Nice. Nice. Existential crises are useful and important at times. Wait, Lux. Ari, Swain, Karma, and Quinn. Soul Fighter Crest? Nah. Alright, we can do that. Let's see here. Nice, there we go. Sorcerer. It's just a protector. No. We'll sell him. See. Yeah, cannon. Nice. Alright, so you got sorcerers. Sweet stuff. 17, let's go. Let's go. Oh, come on. Do. Maybe do increase the cooldown so the RPG spam is less. I'm thinking that as well, honestly. Game speed, player cooldown. Let's do it on. Let's do 5 minutes. X Gamer braves the shadowy forest below. I don't get the logic behind some of these payments, like when they're made and stuff. I'm not gonna show them to you. I just wanna complain about like having to think, I guess.
And I got to say, that's what I appreciate about you.
That's what I appreciate about you.
That's what she said.
Where she said, "I appreciate you." That feels like it's a positive thing, though. That's a loving relationship, if anything.
Two hours later.
Just redeeming everything now. I do love those redeems, though. Oh my gosh. No. Oh my gosh. That's too many points. Fair. I like this one.
What?
Oh, come on!
What? What? What?
Fuck off. Alright. Fine. That was really good timing, wasn't it? I don't wanna. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, jeez. You get 15 push-ups every time. No. I wanted to open a window here, but it's... like, I can see how sunny and warm outside it is. I forgot I changed the voice said that one. Say something silly now, you dancing monkey. Say something silly. Why do I still have that one? I poop my pants. I poop my pants. I wanna shit your pants. So that was saying something silly, but also a song. So 2 for 1. You're welcome. Swain and R. Like, I'm definitely waiting for the 3 stars there. Or 3 cost. Sad the audio is not playing on the stream itself. What do you mean? What audio? What audio is not playing? What are you saying? Alright, we're gonna change songs. Dancing Monkey audio did not play. Oh, really? Interesting. Interesting. I gotta check in on that then. Execute low health enemies, always. Of mad wouldn't be that bad. Shows the sky, I think her dad's in the row. Scary fucker from South Arma. Could be the same reason, yeah. Another 3 ain't bad. Got the sky and the rock. Alright, we need 2 more sorcerers, but I think protectors is what we want in the front here. Nico and Jana, Cassante, Malphite. There's a big scary fucker from South Arma. Level 20? Dude. 3 ain't bad. The Scott and the Rob. Alright, I'm getting annoyed by the Noble Spanking Emporium thing, so we're gonna remove that now. Gain a lucky item chest in Magnite room. Ooh. I'm gonna do that one. Lucky item chest. Let's go. Dawes in the rock. This is a big scary fucker from South Arma. Girl of my dreams. Of her family. Ain't bad. The sky and the rock. The sky and the rock. Hey! Oh my god, I was like 100% sure that you'd gone to bed, Nobles. How late isn't it where you are right now? Isn't it like definitely after midnight? Ooh. I was about to change, but this baseline is really nice. It's 12:30. Shouldn't you go to bed, mister? Mister? We need that sorcerer. We want that sorcerer. Later, I'm gonna keep the game of drugs running. I finally got myself another dealer, and I have drying racks now. Nice. I played a fair bit last night, and I own all the properties, all the businesses, and all the properties have fully automated drug production. So I have a fuck ton of drugs, of all the best drugs, and now it's just like I just need to wait and make money, basically. That's the thing. Like, I want the golden toilet. I want stuff to, like, I think the next step here is to start making an apartment look nice, but I don't know which apartment. Probably the motel. Let's see here. New motel is my sleeping area. All other properties are just drugs. The same. I mean, I do use like I have beds in all my other properties as well, just because like if I'm there, I want to be able to sleep wherever. Oh my gosh. Let's see here. We don't want Malzahar. No. We want more protectors. Where are my protectors? I mean, I guess. Kinda want people up front, though. Star Guardian and Prodigy. I'm not getting any of the good ones. Seems like. Because the first storage room, we're gonna grow them, then the first apartment is packing and storing. By the way, I got the shitbox in front of the police station. I also got the van for transporting. Nice. Those are the things I have as well. Ouchies. Shitbox in front of the police station and van for transport. It's the way to play the game. Fuck your Honda Civic, I have a horse outside. What the fuck is this? I don't want her, though. I want a better protector. Now I can get curfew bonus easy. Yeah. That's like the main reason you do that hack or cheat, I guess. Star Guardian and Protector. Alright, I die. Wait, Swain is a sorcerer. What did I... Oh my gosh. Have I been missing out? There we go. Gets 2 Star Guardians. Star Guardians now. Right, yeah, we don't need you, actually. I've never thought how good the late nights are for selling curfew bonus in the way that deals can expire. Yeah, no, literally. Late night is the time to sell drugs in Schedule 1. But there is also like the component of like, oh, now you can sell and not have to worry about the police. But it's also like, oh, now there's no real challenge to it all. It's just a management game at that point, which is like it's both good and bad, I think. I gotta say, this song, what the fuck? We're just gonna... Yes. What the fuck? Wait. No. 2 random 5-cost champions and 2 combos, and let's go. Edgelord and Luchador. Well, he's a Bastion as well. Also, the champs' victories against players grant 2 Poro fans. On loss, Poro fans prevent 1 tactician damage each, then you lose 75% of your fans. Oh, cool. Dope. I used the console commands yesterday in the game because I was stupid a while back and threw my trash in the ocean and could not get it. And I don't want my game to start crashing, so I had to use the remove trash command. Gotcha. Cop cars still spawn. Yeah, they do. But I mean, it's not that tough. Like, you can dodge them pretty easy. I want to create a report. Why won't the report tell me? Alright. See today, yeah. Great. Let's go. Alright. Dope. It's a feature in our block the cops. One day they fix it. I don't think they will. I don't think they will either. Like, I think Tyler, the dude who makes the game, is pretty okay with that exploit existing. Oh, jeez. Mighty Mech as well. Volibear Mundo Nar. Rogue Captain, the crew. I want that one. Yeah, thank you. I have a new message on PayPal as well, it seems like. Nah, it's just bullshit. Let's go there, let's go here. Whoa. Actually, what we could do is this. Sorcerer emblem or Bastion emblem. Poppy is a heavyweight. Seraphine is a prodigy. Real is Bastion, so. Let's see if we can do something not super shit with this. Twisted Fate. He looks cool as fuck. Writing whole paragraph. Sorry. Don't be sorry. No, an active chat is nice. I enjoy you being here. Just like I'm focused on game as well, so that's why I don't answer immediately. In Satisfactory, there's all these things like clipping conveyors there and a thing on purpose to give the players the freedom to build neat factories and no clipping, or just make it as disgusting as possible, and that's why I like that game. Yeah. No, but stuff like that I appreciate about those types of games as well, where they're like, oh, we know the player base enjoys this, even though it's not meant to work like the way it works currently. Like those types of exploits, is what I'm saying. And I appreciate a developer that'll recognize that those exploits are things that the player base enjoys, basically. Alright, we're gonna sell you. There we go. We're definitely gonna grab a Bastion emblem. He's gonna be a Bastion now. Holy fuck, I don't even know what to do with these things. I feel like I should be giving Braum some stuff. He has a 2-star Braum. I love that. They award the player base instead of making the perfect game no one plays. Yeah, exactly. Like, obviously there are things in games when there's a bug or an exploit that kind of ruins the game. And it's important, I think, for any developer to keep an eye out for shit like that. And fix it. But, like, the clipping in Satisfactory is not a game-ruining thing. And the exploit with the police in... in Schedule 1 is not game ruining either, I don't think. And like, if you think it's game ruining, just don't use it. Pretty easy. We're gonna get another Bastion. Hopefully a Leona. Top 4, oh my gosh. Oh, cool. Nice. Where the fuck is another... For the county... Gwen! There we go. Nice. Alright. Now we have 6 sorcerers. Sweet. That'll do. I've looked at it and the developer added the clipping on purpose back in when it was removed in one update. Nice. Like, removed it and then like, oh wait, no, this is actually good. Let's keep it. Top 4, baby! What do you need? That's a magic fighter. You need these things. Gotta eat breakfast. Oh, the bot is dead. Wait. Should be easy to wake it up. There it is. Is the RPG game dead? Wait, or is it paused because of the ad? I died, no. Never danced before. Interesting if the game pauses when there's an ad. Let's see, the ad break should end in a couple seconds. Yeah, see you later, X-Gamer. You get 3 people in queue, it says. But it's not starting. Interesting. Top 4, baby! Alright. Is the game... Yeah, no. Let me restart it. Let's see if it works now. Yeah, no, it works. Nice. Haha. Now that I think about it, it might be X-Gamer's macro that messes with the game. Or it's just like not optimized for running it for hours on end. Ah. Wait, whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, Haunted, what up? Just scream out, yeah! Oh my gosh, thanks for the raid! Whoop. 3 more to the push-up dead. I've been lurking in your stream. I saw that you were live today. I was hoping that I would be able to raid you, but here you are, raiding me. Wow. I'm not even allowed to raid you anymore. What happened to us? No, sorry. How do I know when to type RPG? You can type it literally any time, and it'll place you in the queue. How are you, Haunted? I saw you were playing some Marvel Rivals. How are you enjoying it? Oh my gosh, Luchador mech. We got sorcerers. Definitely don't need that one. Like, I like the crew. I like the idea of the crew, so we're gonna save that one. Lol, appreciate it either way. I got a raid and run today. Awesome. Thank you so much for the raid. Go take care of yourself. Go take care of the missus. Marvel with the missus night. Nice. Nice. Thanks so much for the raid, Haunted. See ya, bud. Champions restore 5% of the max health. This one was really nice. Shamrock. Alright, interesting. I don't know what to do here with any of this. She's pretty. City. The crew. Hey, X-Gamer. Raider from Haunted. I show up as a Raider from Haunted now. Yeah, I increased the cooldown. Just to be an asshole, you know? Nice. Je suis une raider. She is pretty. She's the belle of Belfast City. Oh, come on! Why, Ducky? Why? Why would you do this to me? Ah! That cute duck as well. Oh. Tee-hee-hee. She is pretty. She's the belle of Belfast City. I just gotta see what I can buy here. We got more edgelords. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oof. I'm only getting 10 for that one. I'm still tired from yesterday, it seems. Oh my gosh. 1699 left. Whew. And let's see. Song singing This Is the Life. Tonight. Am I gonna sleep tonight? Tonight. The Crew. Crew champions gain 5% health and attack speed for each crew member fielded. We got 1 heavyweight, 2 heavyweight, 3 heavyweight. We got a couple edgelords, and then crew. Sleep tonight. I literally don't know how to play this or what to do. Yeah, so probably not edgelords then. Or
Cause there is no cock like horse cock. Send your asshole into shock. You need horse cock,
nobody
of
cares
course
about the
cock.
Pokemon no more.
Grab the lube and slam the J-O.
I've lost interest in the Pokemans. I've been thinking about removing it from the stream, honestly. But like Stony and some other people still catch Pokemon, and I don't wanna take the Pokemans away from them. Really. Had a chicken roll. Ignore some of the enemies armor. Ability started low. Gain mana region. What is this? St. Patrick drove a Honda Civic? I'm pretty sure he didn't. We got RPG instead, boy. What the fuck? Why did it turn off? Did I accidentally kill it? Whoops. I'm sorry if that was my fault. Hopefully not me. Yeah, I don't know what to do here. Got some edgelords. got some crew. Like, the heavyweights are decent, I guess, but I need damage as well. The crew could actually be pretty good to have as damage dealers as well. Alright, we're gonna go with that. Heavyweights in the crew. Chat manages to crash the RPG. I wonder why. Wait, teachers council bonus, increase the team regardless of how many mentors you play. Gain an Udyr. No. Pandora's items. Always Pandora's items. If you can go Pandora's items, you go Pandora's items. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do... He's an attack fighter. You know what? We can do this. Yeah, I know it's dead again. I'm checking in on it. I'm wondering why. It might be some problem with the game itself. I'm wondering if it is your macro, X-Gamer. Because it might be that like the game just won't start when someone's doing a macro command or something. Let's see here. RPG. There we go. Alright, so it's working for now. Yeah, no, I was just wondering if that might be it, but I don't know. I don't know anything about anything. RPG! Everyone, RPG! Yay! RPG for the whole gang. It's still alive though. I'm hoping for the best. Let's grab another crew. I can't. It is literally just clicking the chat, then Control V, and then entrance, and then wait for it. Yeah, then it shouldn't be that. Yeah, no, then it's not your macro. Might just be something with the game itself, like it's buggy. Honestly. You are also part of the crew. I'm going to do that one. Spirit Visage to him. Way better with 5 so chat is not full of RPG. That's what I'm thinking as well, yeah. that? Alright. She's a gangster? Cool. Precision. No. Damage threats and thunders enemies. Deal more damage to treasures and enemies. Yeah, we'll do that one. Sounds way better. Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh. I don't have to be on my phone. The delay is long enough for me to type here. Grind must go on for this well-made RPG game. I think it's really cute. It is. I like the look of it specifically. It looks like one of those old Game Boy Pocket games. Wait, oh no, no, balls. Nice. Soul Fighter and Juggernaut. Alright. It is cute, right? I'm still on cooldown for 4 seconds. Eat my whole asshole. Come on. Let's see here. You're in the crew as well, which is pretty nice. Alright, what do you need more? Could use the thing. I have to be sure to be here if you raid out, otherwise it will keep going in some rando. It does remind me of old time games. Yeah, right? Sent the RPG when I was typing. Sick. Well, now you're noticing how your creation is rising up against you, I guess. No, you know what? We'll give that to him as well. You know what? I'm looking through all my expenses as well, like what I've spent money on. For the stream. And I'm thinking like, yeah, no, never mind. I'm gonna write it all up and specific, like, oh, this was a webcam, this was that, this was that. Unit gains based on their missing health. Maximum damage amp gained at 30% health. Interesting. Backup dancers. No, we're gonna do Blood Rage. Blood Rage. Just gonna put everything in like one place I know. So many things I'm doing at the same time. You can call me the master of multitasking. If you want to. You don't have to, but you could call me that. My masterpiece is going into a revolution. What? Alright, it's... I am checking up the economy, basically. I'm just... Because, like, with the stream, when we started out, I thought, like, maybe I'll make 20 bucks here or there. And now we've generated so much money, I have to declare it on my taxes, and I also have to look at, like, how much money have I actually brought in, how much money have I spent on this, and how much taxes do I owe, if any. Because, like, I'm pretty sure that if I've spent more money on this than I've made, then I don't have to pay any taxes on the money I've made. So I'm checking to see, like, what have I bought with my money that is for the stream specifically. So it's like, oh, the webcam, that's a stream specific thing. So yeah, it's basically like I'm looking for tax write-offs. Rose mother, sounds cool. That is awesome and a pain, right? Like, yeah, I'm pretty happy about the streaming going this well. But it also means like a headache. There we go, finally. Like in my mind, Darius is gonna be our linchpin here. He's the one that we're gonna have win us everything. We got a Ziggs for the crew. We would just need a Twisted Fate as well. Alright. The only thing certain in life is death and taxes, for sure. My creation is killing me! Well. Ain't that a kick in the head, I think? Still can't spell for shit. It's okay. You don't have to spell. Ugh. Things like, I want to add one more crew member. But I also want to have the heavyweights. IRS rock and roll. What the fuck? IRA's rock and roll has to be. It's me that has bad time increasingly doing what it is told. Let's see. I can join as well. Yay! Go to bed, nobles. Go to bed, you dirty, dirty boy. You naughty, naughty man. You need to go sleepy bye-bye. Hey, what up, boss? What? Put your camera in the bottom right so we can see your computer? Is that a thing? Like, people want to see your computer as you stream as well? Oh, you mean this one? Yeah. No, this is the overlay I have. And if I move the camera, the thing around the camera, the frame, won't come with. So it's stuck like this. This is the way it's gonna be. But right now I'm running heavyweights and crew. it's not the best. But I don't understand this new set at all. What am I gonna do here? Attack fighter. Oh shit. Right. We want the crew, dude. You're an attack caster. He's a stance master over there. We can definitely grab that. Let's see here. Heavyweights. Like, I like the heavyweights. I think they're fun and good. There we go. I don't understand what to do. Crew's only good if you have them at level 3. Yeah, that I know. The near boomer don't know how to move the things good. Swed att vara äldre, no offense. No, that's true. That's true. Yeah, but the frame in this overlay is not movable. Or if it is, I have to go into Stream Elements and move it. And like it works very well here most of the time. It's like TFT and some other games that it doesn't work well with, and I just can't be bothered, honestly. I'm too lazy to give a fuck. Let's go. Can I do more RPG? Or did it crash again? No, I'm still on cooldown. Let's see here. Alright. Account details. Like I should have view purchase history. There we go. I need to check what games I've bought and how much money I've spent on games since I started streaming. Attempt 50. Wowie zowie. I want the crew. I want all of the crew. Fuck these heavyweights. Or we do this. Oh my gosh. Yeah, he can go fuck himself. Mentor executioner. No. No. Yes. Yes. Soul fighter sorcerer. No. Mighty Mech Edgelord. No. Yes. Yes. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. He's like Darius is my carry. I'm trying to have Darius as my carry, and he's not even in the crew. Let's go with that one. Dr. Your Wall will get a heart attack. Check how much money you spend on games. I mean, the worst thing is the upgrade I made on the computer for my birthday stream. That was like 8,000 crowns. A little bit more than that. Get rid of you. Alright, so now we have heavyweights and the crew. Gonna keep on adding to the crew. I'm gonna remove just people that are heavyweights. We kind of want that one. We'll sell that one. Alright. This is 1 star each. But he's about to get 3-starred. Top 4, baby! That's what I spent on my GPU. Yeah. No, but I can't spend infinite amount of money. Sadly. I'd love to, though. Fuck, I don't even know what to build here. What am I doing with my life? Gang. A magic marksman? How about we do this? And then I give you this, but then we reforge it. No? You don't even want that? Well, you are a poopy butthole. Oh, and there we have the last one in the crew. Let's just go with that for now. I did all save up for years for my current PC. Yeah. So I haven't saved up for years. I've worked for years and used my credit card. And I die. Alright, game over there. I really gotta go to the bathroom again. I'll be right back. I'm back. Placements complete. Iron 2. Awesome. Can only go up. Let's see. Oh my gosh. I'm not gonna. Everything in Steam is done in euros. I'm not gonna check what that is. I'm just gonna check my card account instead. The toilet boy. I'm not the toilet boy. That's that's mean. The toilet boy. Fuck you, man. Oh, look, the toilet boy. He lives on the toilet, doesn't he? He goes pee-pee, he goes poo-poo. I need to remind me that I need to transfer the Netflix payment from me and my wife's joint account to my account. Remind me in like an hour, please and thank you. Let's see. I can see here that I bought underwear. Could I technically argue that that is also for streaming purposes, as I don't want to stream naked? No. That is not possible. It would also be a fucking lie. Wait, again, let's see if Steam? Nice, alright, yeah. Awesome. Duelist and Wraith. Netflix, got it. Nice. Thank you so much. Oh, another Wraith. Alright, haven't done Wraith before, so we'll see where that goes. What, hasn't it? Oh, it's a reserved one, yeah, alright. That's gonna be... What does Wraith do? Every 5 seconds, Shadow Realm strikes the 3 closest enemies. Luchador! The crew. Mighty Mech. Also cool. We get 2 snipers now. We got 3 snipers, actually. We'll see what happens. Nice MasterCard. Oh shit, right. I should probably remove those from my case if I'm sitting here with the thing, right? Not that you can do much with it, but unnecessary to have. Each round, gain a 1-star copy of the first champion you killed last combat. That could be interesting. Collect golden balls by defeating players and collect all 7 for a reward, and then restart the quest with more powerful rewards. Sure. Let's go with that one. That sounds fun. Soul Fighter and Juggernaut. Don't know what the Soul Fighters are or what Juggernauts are. Juggernauts gain durability, cool. Soul Fighters gain bonus health and gain attack damage and ability power. Alright, interesting. A good look for Soul Fighters, for sure. Dr. Mundo is a Juggernaut. Vi is a Juggernaut. Udyr. Lee Sin? Oh, right, he can be one of those things. Set is a Juggernaut and Soul Fighter. Alright, interesting, interesting. As long as I don't know the numbers and shit, but to be safe, yeah, right? RPG. Oh, fuck off. That's the second time I'm 4 seconds away. 4 seconds. There we go, finally. Alright, wait, Mighty Mech. Mighty Mechs are fun. I can collect them at least. Whee! Let's just have them right here. Right, we were there. Do. Oh, come on. I'm an idiot. Points. There we go. I'm losing. Soul Fighter. I haven't seen a lot of Soul Fighters or Luchadors. Or Juggernauts, I mean. Fuck. Thanks for the lurk, X-Gamer. I do not like the amount of money I've spent on Steam. You don't want to, it looks like Formula has an error. What's the error? There we go. Holy fuck, that's too much money. That is way too much money. And that's just this year so far. Alright, we're gonna get rid of you. Soul Fighter Bastion, let's go with this. Tell me about it. I also spend more than anyone should, but gamers, be gamers, anyway, be have to get something done. Go for it, man. Go for it. Jersey. Alright. Where the fuck am I? Nice, a Juggernaut. There we go. Alright, so we're going Juggernauts and Soul Fighters. Seems like. They seem to be attack tanks, attack fighter. Alright. I like an attack fighter. Just being able to have the Bloodthirster on someone is a pretty nice thing. And he's an attack marksman. Alright, so it's a lot of AD then. Jesus. Yeah. I shouldn't be streaming. I shouldn't be streaming. I make bad financial decisions. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna be paying any taxes on all of this year. Ooh. Let's do a Ginzo's. That one's pretty nice as well. Once the champion has died 8 times. Oh, jeez. That's nice, actually. Kind of cool. Alright. Oh, right. RPG. I keep forgetting. Is that a rat you're killing, Ducky? It is. Oh, we got an ad incoming, gang. Watch out for the ad! Right, raining gold. Quiet quitting. Cannot use your shop. We're gonna do quiet quitting. Stupid. Yep, we're just gonna sit here then. 3 rounds. Nice, in a way. Oh my gosh. There we go. It's not my family. In your head, they are fighting. And their guns and their guns in your head. They are fighting. In your head, zombie, zombie.
Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the best around. And nothing's gonna ever keep you down.
Alright, 2, 10, 13. Then, yeah, right. In your head, you're fighting. Sunday guns in your head, they are fighting. Definitely don't need you. Well, alright. I guess we will use you anyway. In your head, zombie, 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 bit. Right. I'm still lurking on myself. In your head, zombie, 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 baby. There we go. Payment history. I want it from January 1st of this year, actually. Alright, let's see here. Sinzao. Let's grab the sniper instead. Use an attack tank, attack tank, attack tank. I think I still want the Bloodthirster though. Spirit Sword, Golden Edge. The more you attack, the more gold. For sure. More gold. RPG! He's a magic fighter, but that one is good for him as well. So we got Soul Fighters, we got Juggernauts. So a set would be really nice to have. I could replace her with a set. Yeah, so she wants Titan's thing. This one. Where is he? Titan's Resolve. That's what I want. More of. You know what? Fuck it. We're going attack speed all the way, baby. Just insane amounts of it. Let's gain 2 of those. Sounds cool. Wraith and Sniper? Well, I'll take a fucking 5-star Sniper any day. Alright, and probably need some tank stuff as well. Now we have 4 Juggernauts, 4 Soul Fighters. Some pretty fucking good snipers. I think this is a good setup, right? Has to be. Your PayPal order history. It was just here. Fuck off then. Oh, come on. I guess I gotta put it all in manually then. Let's see here. We want Soul Fighters. Crystal Gambit. Oh my gosh. Alright, let's see here. The more I look at my economy, the more I realize I've lost way more money than I've made on this. Like, way more. I've spent a lot of money on having fun. Did it crash again? Quit game, yes. Alright, we're starting it up again. It was getting a bit annoying with MicroStream RPG. You are a soul fighter. He's a soul fighter, but not a cool one. Ignore some of enemies manage fire bonus needles with their first second cast. Alright, let's do a Stormbender. That sounds dope. Alright, RPG. Let's go. Let's see. There we go. Wonderful. I'm probably not going to win this. Och, I a soul fighter. Another soul fighter. Fuck. Whatever. We're getting rid of the Juggernaut then. Oh shit, right, because Neferi was a soul fighter and a Juggernaut as well. Oh, I'm an idiot. I died now anyway, so it's whatever. And I died in the RPG game, I died in TFT. Exit now. I don't necessarily like this song by the Two Johnnies, Small Town Hero. Like, it's one of their more popular ones, but I don't really care for it that much. Dirty. Yeah, we got it 3 times after that one. Alright. Alright. Sorry, I'm gonna focus on this for a little while just because, like, there's stuff to do since it won't export an Excel sheet for me. Twice there, yeah. Plus. Do. Jesus Christ, I've spent money. Fuck me. Alright, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice. Alright. Oh. This is not good, gang. This is not good. Give me some RPG. Togedemaru. I started playing Pokemon Go again as well. Just to, like, get out and go walking now that my toe is healing more. And like, I played it a couple years ago, and there was this event where like, for a few hours in my city, Dratinis would pop up everywhere, and I just went ham during those hours and just caught as many Dratinis as I could. So now I have like 10 Dragonites, a couple shiny Dragonites, and a fuck ton of Dratinis still, all like 3-star and with really good stats and shit. And I had forgot about that, and then when I re-downloaded Pokemon Go, I was like, oh shit, I have these. How many monster trainers do you have? Fuck it, let's do a monster trainer then. Let's do a Rammus. Why not? Soul Fighter. I don't even know. Togedemaru escaped. No. Yeah, it's Kalista. You can buy him as well. Fuck it. I don't know what I'm doing. Ah. Ooh, Pandora's items, nice. He's a magic fighter. It still feels good to have that on him. Two minutes and 7 seconds. Eat shit. Eat a shit. Alright. Alright, let's see here. Let's fuck off. Let's see here. Another heavyweight, maybe? I mean, Juggernaut. Gain critical strike chance. Attack Scrat Gold, baby! There we go. Protector, Sorcerer, Juggernaut. We got another, like, we got a big duelist here, though. That's kind of nice. She's an Executioner. And Viego is our duelist, so that could be fun. You're... I need to double check. Account. Purchase history. Isle of Jura? What the fuck did I... Alright. I'm just trying to check what games have I bought for stream and what games have I bought for myself. Oh, that's also for stream. Yerba football team. To March. This is really annoying, but it's... I think I really need to do this. Yeah, it's so fucking annoying. There we go, that's the one. I had to like remove some games because they're for me or for my wife, not for the stream itself. Oh, okay. Wait, what the fuck? Did I? Says I made a purchase on December 31st. That has to be the one that is 1st of January here.
Sweet dreams, Dr. Vem.
Oh my god.
I must retire. When you sleep, I hope you drift into a deep slumber where every island you defend crumbles beneath your feet. Every unit flees in terror, and the enemy laughs in a chorus you can't escape. May
Laughs
your
in a
peaceful
chorus
rest
you
be
can't
haunted
escape.
by endless loading screens, respawn timers that never end, and chat spamming L in glowing red letters above your bed. You need to sleep well, because in your dreams, just like in real life, the losses never stop coming.
Fuck
Sweet
you, dude.
nightmares.
But also, yeah, thanks. Thanks for being here, Nobles. Thanks for the raid. Thanks for the support. Love. Have a wonderful time, you fucking asshole. Oh my gosh. What a dick. Oh my gosh. Is this like since forever though? No. Oh shit, right. There we go. Next completed item you make grants copy of a gain component. No, we want another one. Another one. Let's see here. We're just gonna sell the edgelords, I think. It's not gonna happen. We're gonna do soul fighters and juggernauts again. And we're gonna hope for the best this time. Alright, so I checked like game payments and so on and realized like, okay, so not all of the games I've bought have been for the stream. But boy, have I spent money on the stream. Alright, well, the fuckers at the tax agency can't say that I've gained money from this. I'm losing money. I'm losing so much money. Soul Fighters. Alright, good. Go sleep, nobles! Go sleep, you fuck. Alright, but interesting to have all this available now. Now I really gotta make a habit of like when I get payments or I pay something, I gotta input it into this fucking Excel sheets. Yuck. Yuck. Oh shit. I forgot. I'm also expecting a call from people. There we go. Good night, Pixie. Thank you so much for the lurk. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being you. Thanks for being a friend. Let's grab that. And then we'll have another Titans Resolve. And we'll be able to give that to him. Soul Fighter. He's a Soul Fighter Bastion. have to do here. Let's give it to him. I'm not done yet. Warming up. Let's see what we can fight. What we can do. Alright. Well, I got done with fixing with the economy today, which is very nice. That is a positive thing. I wanted to do other stuff as well today, but I don't think I have the energy for it, if I'm entirely honest. So we might not. Oh my gosh. Alright. More Soul Fighters. Meow. I am an idiot. I truly am not the smartest person in the world. Let's see here. Mittens, Wit's End. Seeker's Arm Guard. Whenever a shield on the holder breaks... No, we're gonna have Wit's End, and we're gonna go to her. We're going to use that one for her. And we're going to take it right up the bum-bum. Let's see, Juggernauts. No, we're just gonna sell our Juggernauts. Gain a lucky chest and a magnetic remover. I like that one. Actually. You are a Juggernaut and a Soul Fighter. No, let's just fucking go nuts here now. See how many Soul Fighters we can get. Soul Fighter. Can get Kaylee's at least. Luchador. I really like Braum. Just as a concept, Luchador Braum is beautiful. But we're not gonna use him. Alright, I need other music. Let's do latest instead. Yeah. I need to find... That's where it is. Nice. I'm not a role model. Yeah, he's a Juggernaut and a Duelist. That's pretty nice. So, and Lee Sin can be a Juggernaut and or a Duelist. poet. And some bad habits. And I think you should know it. I'm not a role model. I'm gonna grab her. She's a soul fighter. She's a soul fighter. Sinner. I'm a liar. No. Poet. Some bad habits. And I think you should know it. Holy shit, is that actually everyone now? Yup. That's it, that's everyone. In time through a hole I watch your mom. Jobs. Silicone lips. All that shit. Right, well, this is awesome. I'm level 8. I have 8 soul fighters. Defeat 10 players in combat. I'm prismatic. Wait, no. Okay. Gotcha. So now when I have 8 of them, I become prismatic. Hey, what up, X-Gamer? User, I'm a sinner. Liar. Poet. That's a junk call. It says at least. I'm not a role model. Oh no, I die. I forgot to type a word there. I think it, and then don't type it. That happens. That happens. We can save him for a little while. What does she need? She needs this. He's an attack tank. Luchador. I just love the concept of luchadors being a thing here. Soul fighter. Alright, we're gonna give that to you. I gotta really think about how I'm equipping people now. So we could do a Sunfire Cape there, and then we could do a Thieves Gloves on him. We can get that. Oh shit, I got a ton of money now as well. Where did you get all that money from? I know the Mr. Monkey Radio was playing this set on the PBE, the public beta server, and I know he complained when people were playing mechs. So I'm thinking that either mechs are really good, or he just finds them annoying. Has to be one of the two! Alright, Viego. Set! Nice. This feels really good now. My cap is in the wash. I have one of those food clips you use to close bags in my hair to keep it out of my face. It's cute. That is really, really cute. You need to get like those clips that you usually have for small children, with like ponies and stuff. You should have that. Let's see. Soul Fighter. A Samira. I should just level up to level 9 and throw out Braum as well. Fuck it. Cut out what you say. It was my end that cut out, not yours. Fuck, it cut out. Oh, okay. I said you should get one of those hair clips that you usually have for children, you know, with like cute little animals and fruits and shit on it. I think that'd be nice. It would be really cute. Oh, come on. Am I gonna die now? I think I am. Alright, what is he playing? Is that Supreme Cells? Alright. Crew Sniper. I mean, that's not even... You're not... there's no synergy. Yes, it works, but I'd rather use my cap. Wow. Well. Hater. No, I'm just messing with you. It's in the house, in the house, in the house. And attacks deal 90 bonus magic damage. We're just gonna add this to the mix. Oh, come on. I think it might be time to just... try to get as many Soul Fighters as possible. Like, of the good ones, that is. Just upgrade them. Yeah, I'll survive this one. Alright. This might be less than fun, if I'm quite honest. We're gonna give you there you go. I mean, the food clip works so long as I stay home. I ain't gonna show up in school with the food clip. Come on, way nice. Would be fun. Oh, my lord. Alright. Hey, I got top 4? We've been placing top 4 now. Fairly consistently as well. But, I mean, we're also in iron, so the fact that I'm not winning literally every time. I guess I could say Netflix. Oh shit, right. Thank you, actually. I was like, hey, why would he say Netflix? That feels like such a weird thing to just blurt out like that. But yes, Netflix. Thank you. Want to praise you. Want to praise you. But you know what? I think we might actually end here. No, from there to there. Cause like I need to go to the bathroom again. I'm really bored with TFT. Don't want to play it right now. And I feel like I've accomplished something today with the economy and everything. So we are going to raid out to a friend. Fuck yeah, we're gonna raid CD. I love CD Barnesi. She's awesome. Currently, she is just chatting and RPG. She's currently chatting, but she is also a art streamer. She does a lot of trucking simulator. Look, I might go for a little nap. And CD is an amazing person. We love her. Alright, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for being here. I will be live tomorrow, because it's Them's Day tomorrow. And tomorrow I'll probably play something fun. I'm thinking Repo. Maybe with chat, maybe? Because Repo is fun. Yes, yes. Fun stuff. Yes. Alright, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, gang.